The joke left my mouth in less than a second. "She's my wife." I said it casually, almost carelessly, with a half-smile on my face while introducing her to an elderly woman at the hospital reception. I expected her to roll her eyes. I expected her to laugh. Instead, she froze. Her cheeks turned red. Her fingers tightened around the file she was holding. And then, in a voice so soft I almost missed it, she whispered, "I wish that were true." My heart stopped. I turned toward her so fast that the world around us blurred into silence. She wasn't smiling. She wasn't joking. There were tears in her eyes. And in that moment, I realized something terrifying. The girl I had been pretending not to notice had been silently loving me for years. Before we begin, if you believe in kindness, second chances, and love that heals broken hearts, please take a moment to like this video, comment below, share it with someone special, and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps stories like this reach more hearts. Her name was Emma. I met her 3 years earlier on the worst day of my life. It was raining that day. Not the gentle kind of rain people romanticize in movies. It was heavy, cold, unforgiving rain, the kind that soaks through clothes and makes the entire world feel cruel. I was sitting outside the emergency room with blood on my shirt. Not mine. My younger sister's. The doctors were trying to save her after a car accident. I hadn't slept in almost 30 hours. My mind was numb. My body was shaking. And then someone quietly sat beside me. She didn't say anything at first. She simply offered me a cup of coffee. I remember staring at it like I didn't understand what it was. Then I looked at her. Brown hair tied messily behind her head. Tired eyes. Hospital uniform. A nurse. She gave me a small smile. The kind that says, "I know life is hurting you right now. You need this," she said softly. That was Emma. She didn't try to comfort me with empty words. She didn't tell me everything would be okay. She just stayed. Sometimes silence is kinder than promises. My sister survived. Barely. The recovery took months. During those months, Emma became a strange constant in my life. She checked on my sister. She reminded her to take medication. She encouraged her through physical therapy. And somehow, without me realizing it, she became part of our routine. She'd bring coffee. My sister adored her. Actually, adored is an understatement. My sister was convinced Emma was secretly in love with me. I laughed every time. Because no. That made no sense. Why would someone like Emma love someone like me? I wasn't exactly easy to love. My parents died when I was 23. After that, life became responsibilities. Bills. Work. Debt. Hospital visits. I stopped thinking about romance. Love felt like a luxury people with easier lives could afford. Emma deserved better than a man carrying constant exhaustion in his eyes. So even if there was something there, I ignored it. Maybe intentionally. Maybe because fear is easier to live with than hope. Still, Emma remained. Birthdays. Family dinners. Emergency calls. Random grocery trips. She somehow slipped into every corner of our lives. And the strange thing? She never asked for anything. Not attention. Not affection. Not commitment. She simply gave. And gave. And gave. There were moments I almost said something. Like the night the electricity went out during a storm. My sister had fallen asleep. Emma and I sat near the window with candles between us. Rain tapped against the glass. The whole apartment glowed gold. She looked beautiful. Not movie star beautiful. Real beautiful. Warm. Human. Safe. She was telling me some ridiculous hospital story and laughing so hard she couldn't breathe. And I remember staring at her thinking, this feels like home. That thought scared me. So I buried it. Again. Months passed. Then one day, everything changed. Emma stopped coming around. Not suddenly. Not dramatically. Gradually. Texts became shorter. Replies slower. Visits rarer. The warmth remained. But distance appeared. I noticed. Of course I noticed. But pride is a dangerous thing. Instead of asking what was wrong, I told myself she was busy. Work. Life. Normal. Then my sister said something that shattered that illusion. She's pulling away because of you. I frowned. What? She loves you, idiot. I laughed. But it came out weak. No. My sister stared at me with genuine disbelief. You really don't see it? I didn't answer. Because somewhere deep down, I did. I had always seen it. I just pretended not to. Because acknowledging it meant making a choice. And choices are terrifying when failure could cost you everything. A week later, I learned the truth. Emma had received an offer from a hospital in another city. A better salary. Better position. She was leaving in 2 weeks. 2 weeks. And she hadn't told me. That hurt more than I expected. I called her. No answer. I texted. No reply. Finally, I drove to the hospital. That's when the joke happened. At reception, an elderly woman smiled at us and asked if Emma was my girlfriend. Without thinking, trying to lighten the mood, I said, she's my wife. Then came the blush. The whisper. I wish that were true. And just like that, every wall I built collapsed. I stared at her. She avoided my eyes. Tears trembled on her lashes. I followed her into an empty hallway. Neither of us spoke at first. Silence stretched painfully. Then I finally asked the question that mattered. Why didn't you tell me you were leaving? She laughed. But it broke halfway. Would it matter? That hurt. Because I knew why she asked. For years, I had accepted everything she gave while giving almost nothing back. I cared. Deeply. But caring silently can feel identical to not caring at all. I stepped closer. It matters. She shook her head. No, it doesn't. It does. No. Her voice cracked. You don't get to say that now. The tears came. Real tears. Years of hidden pain poured out. I waited for you. Each word hit me like a punch. I waited when you pushed me away. Another tear fell. I waited when you pretended not to notice. She looked directly at me now. No masks. No softness. Only raw truth. I loved you through everything. My chest tightened. She continued. I loved you when you were broken. I loved you when you were angry. I loved you when you stopped believing life could be good. She inhaled shakily. But loving someone who refuses to see you. Her voice dropped to a whisper. Destroys you. I couldn't breathe. Because every word was true. I had hidden behind responsibility. Behind trauma. Behind fear. But beneath all that, there was one brutal truth. I was terrified of losing her. So terrified that I never allowed myself to have her. Because if I never had her, I could never lose her. Coward logic. But common. Human. Painfully human. She wiped her tears. I'm leaving because I need to save myself. That sentence shattered me. Because suddenly I saw everything. Her late-night check-ins. Her small acts of care. The way she always noticed when I skipped meals. The way she remembered every tiny detail. The way her eyes softened whenever I entered a room. The way she loved without demanding. And I almost let that leave forever. I almost let her walk away. Because fear felt safer than love. I stepped toward her. She stepped back. That hurt. I deserve that. Emma. No. Please. No, don't do this. Do what? Her tears returned. Don't say something just because I'm leaving. That stopped me. Because she was right again. This couldn't be desperation. This had to be truth. Complete truth. So I told her the thing I had never admitted aloud. When my parents died. My voice trembled. I stopped believing good things stayed. She froze. I continued. I convinced myself everyone I love eventually disappears. My throat tightened. So when you entered my life. I swallowed hard. You became the most terrifying person I'd ever met. She stared. Confused. Emotional. Silent. I gave a broken laugh. Because losing you would destroy me. Tears burned my eyes now. I didn't care. For 3 years I've been lying to myself. I stepped closer. This time she didn't move. I told myself I was protecting my heart. I shook my head. No. I was protecting my fear. Silence. Then the final truth escaped. I love you. Her lips parted. Shock. Disbelief. Hope. Pain. All at once. I kept going because if I stopped, I might lose courage. I love your laugh. I love how you care. I love how you fight for people. I love how you made my sister smile again. My voice cracked. I love how you brought life back into a dead house. Tears fell freely now. And I love you so much that I spent years pretending I didn't. Emma covered her mouth. Crying. Shaking. I reached for her hand. This time. She let me. Her hand trembled inside mine. Warm. Real. Human. Not a dream. I looked at her and spoke the truth with nothing left hidden. You said you wished that joke were true. I inhaled deeply. Then let me stop joking. Her breathing stopped. So did mine. Please comment below with one word that describes what you're feeling right now: love, pain, hope, or healing. I'd truly love to read your thoughts. I dropped to one knee. Right there. In the hospital hallway. People probably stared. I didn't care. Nothing existed except her. Except us. Except this moment. I looked up at the woman who had loved me when I didn't know how to love myself. And I said the words my heart had carried for years. Emma. I smiled through tears. Will you let me become the husband I jokingly claimed to be? She broke. Completely. Not from sadness. From relief. From years of waiting. She dropped to her knees too. And then. She threw herself into my arms. The force nearly knocked me over. She was laughing and crying at the same time. And through broken sobs, she whispered into my shoulder. Yes. Again. Yes. And again. Yes. I held her tighter than I'd held anything in my life. For the first time in years. The fear was still there. But something stronger had arrived. Courage. Love isn't the absence of fear. It's choosing someone despite fear. Choosing them even when loss is possible. Choosing them because life without love isn't safety. It's emptiness. 6 months later, we got married. My sister cried more than anyone. Emma laughed at that. The reception was small. Simple. Warm. Exactly like her. And when it came time for speeches, I stood before everyone and told them the truth. The best thing that ever happened to me began as a joke. Everyone laughed. Emma blushed. Just like before. I looked at my wife. My actual wife. And smiled. She once whispered she wished it were true. I took her hand. It is. If this story touched your heart, please like this video, comment, share it with someone you love, and subscribe to the channel. Your support means everything and helps keep heartfelt stories alive. Sometimes the person who loves you most loves you quietly, patiently, without demands. Don't wait until they walk away to see them. Sometimes love stands beside you for years, hoping you'll finally turn around. And when you do, you may realize they were home all along.